What is good, everybody? Merkel Moman on the scene. Welcome back to the Half Size Up podcast. You lot have now been listening to us for 21 shows, and we are now at episode 22. As you know by now, we're a weekly podcast for sneaker news, UK releases, global sneaker trends, and all things in between. Today's podcast is brought to you in conjunction with the Pink Miracle Shoe Cleaner, the original shoe cleaner since 1985. With me each and every week, I have my co-host Ash Bash.
What's good, people?
And Dean Still.
What's going on?
And boy, if you're listening to the podcast right now, then you'd know a tad bit of heartbreak in the nation of the United Kingdom today. All we want to say here, HSU, is that we're proud of the boys for making it that far in the tournament. And we just need to be looking at some like aftercare for our younger players, our younger POC players. Social media can be cruel, can be a cruel place at sometimes. And in these times like this, we just need to be protecting our lads from social media abuse. L's always turn into W's at some point. We just need to learn from it and move on. I didn't want to go too deep into it. We all feel the same at the moment. It's just heartbreak as it stands. Yeah, so I didn't want to go too deep into it. Just wanted to have our say. But yeah, so we'll move on. This week, we've seen releases in the Quai 54, Air Jordan 1 Low and the Air Jordan 5. We've seen a New Balance Cross Size 550 College Pack. We've seen a Asics Gel Light Free Cross SVD collaboration. And we've seen a Nike Dunk Special Edition First Use Pack. All in all, some dope releases this week and a lot more to discuss in today's episode. But for now, let's get stuck into our first segment, in which we would like to call Favorite Shoe You Wore Last Week. In this segment, we talk about our most favorite shoe that we worn last week. And today we've got Ash to get the ball rolling. So Ash, what was yours, man?
Yeah, last week it feels like a blur for some reason. I just the whole week I was trying to think about what I did last week and what I wore. It wasn't that much. I don't think I actually went out that much this week, but I guess it would be one of my new pickups, which was the New Balance 992 Navy. It was a pair that I wasn't really interested in getting in the first place because I had the black pair, and in pictures the black pair and the navy looked pretty similar. And then just literally a week or two ago, someone posted a picture of the blue pair, and I said they look sick. If I can get them for discount or cheaper, I'll try and pick them up. Then literally the next day, I saw them for a price that was 60 or whatever under retail. So I picked them up, and they're just absolutely fire. So yeah, that's the one I went for.
Dope pair. Dean, how about you, man? What was your favorite shoe you wore last week?
I was trying to be have a bit more variety this week because I've been wearing the New Balance 550s a lot. Yeah, and I've been wearing the Sakai, the green and yellow waffles, the LD waffles, because they just have them out, and they're looking really mash up, man. I need to chill. There's a little bit of soul separation going on there as well, but yeah. Anyway,
I think the shoe's a weak shoe, man. I think a lot of that shoe can fall apart, innit?
Yeah, man. I'm just waiting for it to basically break off, but it's fine. It is what it is.
At least it's got two soles in it.
Yeah, it's got two soles. I'll see what I can do with it, man. But yeah, for me, probably go with the Black Cement 4. Yeah. I ain't all that in ages, and I thought Yeah, I took it out, and I was like, it's just such a fire shoe. It's just so.
You got the
good.
Nike Air one or the one before?
I got Nike Air one. I got the Nike Air one. Yeah, the one before, long gone.
Paint chipper that pair.
Yeah, man. Even a lot of those fours from that year period they ain't got they ain't got any longevity to them. No. Unfortunately, they paint and chip, and even when you repaint, they chip, and it's just
it's just the material doesn't take to it.
Nah, it's terrible. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with those.
You seen that? I don't know if you've seen that video on social media.
Yeah,
kind of touching
just sticking his thumb into the side.
Yeah, and it's just
ice cream,
like cake. It looks
it's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can it get that bad? Yeah.
I imagine so.
Old pair. I don't even know. Did he say when that was from?
Yeah, it was an old school pair.
Okay.
I think it was 01.
Oh, fair enough then.
That's still scary though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
It is
So I
still.
think Grips bought he got a Royal one. I think it was 2001, something like that. So hopefully his one's not fucking up like that.
Yeah, might crumble, man.
I reckon the ones will have more solidity to them, innit? Because there's pairs from like
visible air bubble and stuff. Is this asking for trouble?
There were 85 pairs of ones that are still going strong.
That's true. Yeah, true.
So you like to think that our ones and shit got a little bit of life, but
yeah, definitely need to start wearing. It makes you need to start wearing some stuff though.
Yeah, man.
I love so much that I've never worn just because it's like I don't want to get it dirty, but I need to. Always one day it's just gonna fall
apart anyway. Yeah, you're just gonna take it out. Like, yeah, I'm gonna finally rock these.
All these years you had it for 10 years and didn't enjoy it,
and you're gonna feel some soft thing going on at the back of your shoe.
Squeak.
Before you know it, it's weird, man.
We've all been there, man. Like when you just walking, it's like
squeaked, and then it was over.
I remember one of my old Air Max 480s. Like I was just walking, and I just felt soft all of a sudden. And I just looked, and it's just gone. Oh,
did you see the video of the guy pumping up his Air Max?
Nah.
He punctured a hole in the bottom of it and literally pumped it back up and then sealed it properly, and it was like back to new.
Oh, nice.
It was mad. Yeah, it was mad.
Shit.
You can revive it, man.
Yeah.
Gives you a bit of hope, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Air Max revival.
For me, lads, I had the Shatter Backboard 3.0s. I actually wore them before I wore them. I did show the lads that I did a bit of a customization on them. So instead of making them,
got his flamethrower out.
For real. Instead of them being super shiny, got out some Krylon matte finisher, took it outside, undid the laces, and just kind of taped it all up, all the parts that I didn't want to be matted, but literally it's super, super easy to do. Sprayed the entire shoe, looks so much more better, so much more wearable, because to be honest, like, it was a shoe that I never reached for. Like I just...
Yeah, I think I wore mine once.
Yeah, I sold my one. Yeah.
This is what I mean. I wanted it to be a shoe that I can actually go and grab for, like, because it is quite
the colorway is dope and the sole and all that is cool, but they just chicken grease.
They decided to make it shiny as fuck, man. I don't know,
and it's crinkle as well. I know it's still crinkled on Mo's one, but it looks better.
But with the matte, it's just better, isn't it? Like, it's a shame that they just didn't drop it in a normal leather. But like,
that's the early pictures we had. Everyone was like, "Oh,
the colorway is nice." So like, like the matte look is good. Like, it's way better than the shiny look. Definitely. Anyone out there, if they're not sure of their pair, if you don't want to sell it, I would recommend taking a look at what Mo did and just doing that.
I'm gonna have to do it eventually.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna wear them. Like,
no, it's super easy to do. And you know what? Like, I wore them out for a good, I'm gonna say 6 hours.
Yeah,
and
you got some long walks these days. It's like 10 hours, 6 hours.
Do you know what? Like, Kim keeps like organizing all these little trips and family trips and whatnot. So I've been pulling them out and I've just been wearing them. Do you know what I mean? So
that's what they're there for, man.
It's a good test, for them to just... I wanted to see how much endurance it's got. And actually, when I took them off, had a look at them, and you know what? There's not like the creasing is... There's not much creasing at all. So, because I was thinking when you mat it, where it creases, you might get some like white, I don't know, residue or something, wherever it creases.
Does the shiny stuff actually come off, or does it change into matte? If that makes sense.
So what you need to do is you actually need to like acetone it all first to make it to make that shiny finish off, and then you spray it so that you've got an even layer on each one, which it kind of makes it matte in the first instance when you acetone it.
Yeah, because that's what they were doing on some of the other pairs for that matted look, weren't they? I remember that.
Exactly, yeah. So I was saying to Ash, like, this is a good little practice for me for the bread.
I hope it's possible on that. Or I don't hope it is. I don't know. I do, I guess, but I don't ever.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Having the fake bread ones is gonna piss me off. But
I'm gonna try for that and see.
I wish it had like a white wings logo or something just to make it different.
Yeah, man, I can't get with that shoe, man. Do you know what, Mo? You might be better off just doing it, matting it, and then selling it and getting the bread.
Yeah. Stock it till pass it.
So true, though.
I'll give you an old box.
You know, that's a great shout, D. I might have to do that then, innit? Just get a pair of bands.
But that shoe looks particularly shiny, like looks extra. I don't know if it's just because of the colorway.
I reckon.
Yeah, there's no crinkle. There's no
If you
crinkle.
can, if you can mat that fucking SBB, that 3.0, anything is possible.
I guess so.
Yeah, for sure.
That thing
For
is
sure.
fucking. Yeah, I ain't seen.
I'm gonna let a couple people do it first before I do it to my bit. Hopefully,
yeah. Let people test it out. Any disasters and all that.
Let them be the guinea pig, innit? Cool, lads. All dope shoe were worn last week, guys. Don't forget to use the Half Size Up Pod and FSYWLW hashtag to get featured on the Half Size Up account. Moving on, lads, and here at Half Size Up, we have Sneaker News of the Week. So this week, lads, as you may or may not have seen, it has been PFW, aka Paris Fashion Week, and our favorite college dropout artist, Mr. Kanye West, has been making waves once again in the fashion world headlines. This week, he recently attended the Balenciaga Couture Fashion Show and mingled with all the A-list celebs. Once again, he rocked a Balenciaga overmask, a Yeezy tee, a highly anticipated Yeezy Cross Gap puffer, and a matching Balenciaga pants. However, in true Kanye form, he broke a cardinal sin in terms of the rules of the sneaker culture by sporting a pair of sand Yeezy foam runners, but the sock game he paired them with were a pair of black with white swoosh Nike crew socks. Now, I don't know if this was intentional, if he was late for a show and he just chucked on the closest pair of socks that he had in his hotel room, but it does seem that Kanye is the king of causing headlines. And obviously at a show as big as this, like we've mentioned before, the Yeezy Cross Gap line is releasing very soon. So obviously he's got to make a bit of waves. So yeah, my question here today, lads, kind of simple one, but it'd be great to hear your opinion. Now that Kanye has done this, does it make it okay for the regular type of sneaker collector to do it? Is it like COVID where we're easing on restrictions with regards to cross-brand wearing on foot? Because I'll tell you now, I've seen about 5 or 6 posts this week since this occurred. And I ain't saying no names or who posted doing it already. So like Nike socks and like foam runners or Yeezys.
Well, people are doing it since Kanye did it.
Literally. And I've seen
Oh, Lord, give me strength, please.
Ash, let's go to you first. What's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, it's a no-no. I actually did a video about this on my YouTube, I think like last year, saying, is it okay? And I said, no, it's not. But especially for those brands, like they're proper rival brands that just don't go together. I remember I posted a picture of like Adidas track pants with some Jordan ones. And I said, is this okay? And everyone said, no, that's not okay. And it isn't okay. But when it comes to like socks and stuff, I will admittedly do that often just because I happen to have more Nike socks than anything. And all my Adidas socks for some reason just like hella tight, so I don't even like to wear them. So Nike socks and other brands is something that I do all the time. But if I'm doing it, you're never going to see the swoosh, like it's going to be hidden or something like that. But there's certain things like I would rock a Nike tracksuit and maybe like some Asics, and I wouldn't feel too crazy about it. But Adidas and Nike or Jordans, never ever. Doesn't make sense. And Kanye West is not making that a thing. He's just being an arsehole as usual, just showing his power that Adidas have no control over him and he's a nutcase and he'll do what he wants to do.
Facts. Dean, let's get your thoughts, man.
Yeah, pretty much Ashland summed it up nicely. I think firstly with Kanye, like I said, that's just him being a prick and like
attention seeker.
Yeah, he's making the news, and also like it just makes Adidas look like clowns. Let's be real,
Proper.
Like
Yeah,
it just
sad,
makes
man.
them look so stupid.
Always mugging them off.
Yeah, I feel bad for them because like
Can't do nothing.
It's just one of them things where he just doesn't like. It just doesn't benefit anyone except like Nike. Really, I
He
mean,
never did it when he was Nike, but did from what I remember, anyways.
nah, yeah, but so like that he did that. That was definitely intentional. Is it okay? Like, look, when no one can see, I think
No
it's
one
okay.
knows.
Well, no, exactly right. Like I've done it a few times. I don't really have any Adidas socks because, like you said, they're always quite tight, and
Yeah, I don't know why.
I got hairy legs, man. That shit don't work.
Yeah, it's
So
myth.
it,
Yeah.
it, it really it's uncomfortable. So yeah, most of my socks are either plain. I've got loads of plain ones, as Mo kind of knows in detail.
Yeah. 14 pairs minimum.
Yeah,
Yes, no
I
cap.
got loads of unbranded socks in there, but I got some Nike ones as well. So I do it when like they're hidden, but like I would never really wanna mix them intentionally. And I just don't think it goes. I think even like without it even being a pop culture kind of reference point, I'm just even in the sense like stylistically, it just
Yeah.
doesn't look good. Like
3 stripes and then some Jordans.
yeah,
Just
it
weird.
just look weird. It just looks weird. Even like when I see like random brands, like I got a pair of Reebok socks, and I was wearing them the other day, and I realized that I had Nike shoes on, and I felt like a prick.
Bruh, bruh.
Um,
Can't do that.
yeah, and it's just me because I wasn't used to it. Like I don't usually have like branded socks like that, so yeah, for me, it's not a good look. I think stylistically, it just doesn't look right. But there are occasions like you're saying, Asta, where you've got perhaps like a Nike tracksuit and then Asics pair that if it's not like overly branded, like 90% of Nike stuff is these days.
Yeah.
Always some big fuck off swoosh or 1,000 swoosh on the t-shirt or something like it's always like that. So um, yeah, yeah, it's not for me, and to the people like thinking it's cool because like Kanye's doing it, just like think for yourself, right? Like
Yeah.
you,
Don't be
if
that
you,
influenced.
yeah,
So
just think
true.
for yourself. Like I mean,
So
really, like,
true.
if you think it's cool, fair enough. But like, don't be doing it just because Kanye did it and you think it's like edgy or something. Because you just look like, yeah, you just look like a fool.
Do you know what? Yeah. So, like, for me, yeah, you have to, okay, Kanye is Kanye. He is a style icon. He's Kanye, right? He's wacky. He's mad. He's crazy, yeah? But people, you need to remember, he is Kanye. You are you. Like, it's not like, do you know what I'm saying? He
It's
can do
true.
it. He's a fucking style icon, man. Like, it doesn't make it acceptable. He can probably do it and get away with it because he's trying to prove a point. Like, he's
Yeah.
trying to, he's trying to build his own personal brand, which he is already established at, but he's trying to just portray himself in a different type of way.
He's Adidas's biggest asset, right? Like,
Exactly. Like, it doesn't make it like it doesn't make it right for you to say like it's okay. It's not okay, man. Don't. But obviously, like, who am I to say anything? Like, if you're gonna wear it, you're gonna wear it. Like, but just remember, he is Kanye, and you are you. Like, I don't know.
I must say though that I see, because my job, I drive a train. I see people all the time. I see it super often. People rocking Adidas tracksuits
Yeah.
and like Nike trainers. I think it's just people love Adidas tracksuit bottoms.
They do.
And they don't, because if they have a big sneaker collection, they generally will have like a pair of Nikes. And that's just what they're going to wear, And people that like tech fleece
people like the stripes,
if
innit?
they have a pair of Yeezys, they don't have the Adidas tracksuit. They're just going to wear it together because that's just, they don't think about it. It's not crossing their mind. We're just like mad into the brands that we recognize it. That's crazy.
I've just gotten away from wearing like a lot of the clothing now from the brands. I like a lot of like Nike hoodies and Nike jumpers and stuff, but I'm just trying to buy joggers because it just makes it more
It
flexible.
pigeonholes your whole fit.
That's what that's what I mean.
Pair of shoes and you're like, the color matches perfectly, but I can't wear it.
That's what I mean. Like that, like I'm trying to buy less clothes and stuff and be a little bit more economical with what I wear, right?
Yeah,
So
smart.
it's like it's one of those things where I'm just trying to buy like neutral stuff from the shoes I'm wearing because I've got like Nike, I've got some Adidas, I've got some Reebok, I've got some New Balance in there, I've got Converse in there, and like it's just it just makes it hard. And obviously you guys got even more shoe brands than I do, so I can imagine for you it's even trickier.
That's why I do it, because I ain't got no ASX tracksuit to wear it with. So I'm gonna wear it with whatever I have, and that's why I started to buy some more unbranded stuff I can wear with everything.
Do you know? Kanye knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's a businessman. He knows what kind of buzz he can build.
Wasn't he rocking his new Gap jacket as well? That's probably all he wanted to get was pictures of him and that everywhere.
It was, yeah. That was the black
Yeah,
Gap.
the black version of it. Those jackets are weird, man.
He knows what he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing. So, like,
they look a bit like fetishy, innit?
It does, because it's got no puff to it. It's got no little separating bits. It just looks
a bit weird, man. It's a bit American Horror Story, bro.
Oh my days. So true, man.
It is, man. It's American Horror Story vibes, man. It's just a bit like, different.
I hear you, man. Guys, obviously remember, like, we do this segment lighthearted, so like nobody take this personally. And if you are gonna cross brand, man. Who gives a fuck what we say? But yeah, it's not cool though. It ain't cool. Right, lads. So moving on, it's that time again. Our favorite part of the podcast, and we have HSU question time. This is the part of the podcast where we give you, the listener, a chance to ask about absolutely anything that's going on within the sneaker realm. And this week on HSU Question Time, we've got a few questions from you guys. Big shout out to everyone that gets involved each and every week. And the first question comes from @Steed1836. And he asks, what old school basketball shoe would you like to see a re-release of? Dean, let's go to you first, man.
Oh, that's a good question. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Hell of a lot. It's a hell of a lot.
There's like a lot of the Air Flight series would be so dope to get so many of those back. Picking one.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, it is, because there's so many nice retro ones as well.
Like, there are like
super OG models as well.
Go to Ash. Let me have a think.
Ash, let's go to you then, bro. Unless you want me to go first. I don't know.
You go first, Mo, because I've got my idea. I'm just Googling to make sure I get the name right.
Okay, so for me, I don't know if you guys know this sneaker at all, but I think I'm going to say it's either a 96 or 97. It's the Air Zoom Flight 5 mid. It's that Jason Kidd wore back when he was at, I'm either going to say Phoenix or Dallas Mavericks when he was there way, way back. But it's got this sort of hologram on the outside, on the lateral side. Not hologram, I'm going to say like it's this super shiny bubble, like right in the middle of the shoe. Majority black and white sneakers. I've got a white midsole, black upper. Real wacky kind of design, kind of like in that era, it was like basketball sneakers were very like chunky in that sense. So I'm gonna say kind of like the shape of the Pippins, kind of like the shape of the Rodman Endestructs. But yeah, it's a Jason Kidd. What is it? The Air Zoom Flight 5 mids. They were so dope. When I was playing ball like way back in the day, and when I was a lot younger, Craig will appreciate this. But yeah, we would just see all the older kids, like older man, them like playing ball. Like they would be in the session after us because we were the younger team. A couple of the lads had them, and me, Craig, and a couple of other lads would just be like, damn man, I like proper wish I had those sneakers. I didn't even know what kind of price point they were for, like, God knows, like £100 back in the day was a lot of money. But yeah, I'd love to see that sneaker come back. For me, I don't know, it just kind of solidifies a certain era of the NBA, like me watching it from back in the day. So if that shoe could come back again,
you'd be all over it.
It just captures a certain era, a certain moment for me, like brings you back to your sort of your childhood in that sense. So yeah, if that shoe ever came back, I'd be straight on it.
Right, I got my one now. I'm just making sure. Yeah, so mine would be, because one of my favorite films that when I was like in secondary school time, me and my boy used to literally watch it every single day, summer holidays, go into the garden, go and practice the basketball moves. And that was White Men Can't Jump. And the shoe was the Nike Air Commander Command Force, Billy Hoyle's pair. All white highs with the sort of Volt color at the back. Pair's crazy. I was just Googling and it actually came out again in 2014, it looks like, that re-release. So totally missed on that. But if that come out, that's a shoe that I'd probably have to buy just for nostalgia purposes only, because that film, man, every year I have to watch that film over and it just still gasses me up every time.
Yeah,
I'm always willing him to get that dunk and he just never makes it. I always feel sorry for him because I know his girl's going to be all over him.
You're hopeful, isn't it?
Yeah, just like, please, one time make it. Guy bet his whole money. Oh, God, one hell.
D, you ready for it?
Yeah, do you know, I don't. To be honest with you, I was just looking at a list now. There's so many like the like aerosol. Do you know, like Ash, you mentioned how like you didn't notice that that it retroed already, right?
Yeah.
That's similar. Like the Air Flight 89 all came out.
Fire.
Yeah, and it's such a fire shoe, but had just no buzz around it.
That's the thing. Unless it's like something that's hype now, you don't really hear about it. Or we'll see one story, whereas everything else is everywhere. And you can't miss it. You know, like a standard Jordan 1 release.
Yeah,
so
that's
missing out on some gems.
So quite a few of those. I really like those, like Air Max Revolution, like the highs, all of those that they did. Yeah, big fan of all those like early Nike basketball shoes. They're just a little bit too chunky.
Yeah,
You
it was
know,
a proper chunky era, man.
that's the thing. It's just too chunky, and I think streamlining. A lot of those shoes have silhouettes have potential to come back in a more streamlined fashion. So
you piss off the old heads, but you hopefully would get new fans. It's probably worth doing.
I think
streamlining it.
I think when the silhouette is dead and there's no releases at all,
Yeah.
I think it's worth exploring. I think there's a rich history. Nike's got such a rich history with all those silhouettes that they cooked up early on. So yeah,
Do you know what? That kind of sneaker is a sneaker that really defines your collection, though. Like it says, you know, it says like something about your collection as well. That's what I always think. You know, like it's not just like everyone else's collection that you see on Instagram. It's like it's personal to you. It defines, you know, your understanding of like the development. You know, how it's come up through the years. And for that era, like basketball era, like the sneakers were just chunky as hell, like above the ankle, way above the ankle, and like compared to today. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's sort of wearing mids or lows even, and then just wearing a sock.
It speaks volumes, though, Mo, what you're talking about like having your own collection. And this is why, like, I always try to like say to people, like, just like get what you like. And like right now, so many people, especially the newer collectors, their collections are all Dunk highs and Jordan 1 highs that everyone's the same.
I always feel like I'm being rude when I say it, but every sneaker wall is the same, man.
It is. It's just
you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yeah, it's
lame.
It just makes it boring, and like there's so much out there. There's so many beautiful shoes out there. There's so many ways that like you can, some of the money that people put into like as the exact same version of another shoe they've got 4, 5, 6 times over. They could explore something else that could, speak to them in a different way. So I think that's why like what you're saying, Mo, is so nice and so true. Though, like those pairs, when you see those specific pairs in people's collections, that's what you talk about. You don't talk about like, oh, you got the Travis one, or
That's like when Mo came to my house. The first thing he went to look at was my Saucony collection. He was like, "I got my big wall of all the Jordan 1s and all the Jordan 3. He didn't care about that. He was like, let me see these Sauconys that I haven't seen in person before, And I love that.
I had to. It's just like it's things that you won't regularly see, let alone on social media. Do you know what I mean? And
you know how socials is now, posting it, no one's even going to care. So it's like makes you not even want to post it.
Yeah,
people won't see stuff.
But I don't know. You do see a lot of the time, like with a lot of sort of newer collectors, and I'm not trying to gatekeep or nothing like that, but they're going to their Instagram stories and they're doing the polls and like, oh, what's better, the uni glue ones or the uni 4s? Like, so they're trying to seek, which one is the
Validation. Yeah, which one to
exactly.
get direction. Yeah.
Okay, so whichever one's more popular from their poll, that's the one that they're gonna
Yeah.
buy, and then see that's gonna be their next post. And it's just all so predictable. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when you say names like the Air Flight 95s, the Air Zoom Flight 5s, and do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? The commanders, you're just like, oh, your eyes light up, and you're like, damn, I totally forgot about that sneaker, or two, you're like, damn, I need to acquaint myself with what that shoe looks like. Do you know what I mean? And it brings back that research sort of element
Yeah.
that makes you fall in love with sneakers
Yeah.
again. But
And I think it doesn't even have to be like solely like ascribed to like finding these specific niche pairs. There are a lot of shoes at the moment, like the New Balance are putting out a lot of shoes. They're getting a little bit more popular, but still a lot of people will pass on those. But
Yeah.
if you
It's true.
like a pair and you really like it, and just because it's not sold out, go for it, because those often are
bro,
the pairs you end up enjoying the most, right?
yeah.
Definitely.
And later down the line, those become the pairs that are sought after, and you're
Yeah,
like,
and
damn, should have
they're
bought that when
they're
it
often
was.
hard to find at that point. Even like they become
Someone said
like,
that before with GRs and stuff, because everyone just buys them and wears them,
yeah,
it'll be hard to find pairs just about because
that's
they're
what
not sitting on,
happened.
they're not holding on to them because they're
My
wearing them.
my
Yep.
GR like Vomero 5 in the sale literally like went on sale everywhere for like £70, and then now you can't find them. Like they're not.
Yeah, it's gone.
There's no StockX listings. There's one or two on eBay that are like £400 for a GR, £300, and that's what happens. So like, if you see something and you want it, just go for it, because at the moment, like, there's nothing. To me, I think there's nothing more interesting than when you meet another person into shoes and you see their collection and just seeing like what exactly they're into, like what speaks to that person. And
For
when
real.
it's just the same silhouettes or like just the same couple of silhouettes, it just makes it less interesting, I think, for everyone. And I think people aren't really giving themselves the chance sometimes to explore what they like.
Yeah.
You have to
Got to,
try new things.
got to get out there, man. And then and exactly what he said, if you like it, just go get that, man. Don't
Yeah.
seek, you know, validation from other people. Dope question there. Really appreciate it. Our next question is from uh, at Omari Kuchiki. Shout out to you, brother. Is it time for Virgil to stop, or will he eventually have his whole own subdivision? Ash, let's go to you first. What do you think?
I know we speak about Off-White a lot and say like we're a bit tired of it and stuff, but people still love it. I don't think he should stop. If people like the shoe and it's reselling high and everyone's into it, keep going. I don't see people think too many releases is killing a shoe and stuff, but you can kill a shoe. Like the 50 is obviously overkill and stuff, but all the other stuff he's doing is not.
Bruh.
It's not on that many pairs of the same shoe, like where it's got a bit silly, spaced out a little bit. I'm cool with him, keep doing what he's doing. A whole subdivision, I don't know. He's got his own brand established. I don't know what he wants to do. I don't know how popular his own brand is anymore. Like I don't really see that many people personally wearing like off-white t-shirts and stuff anymore. I don't know if you guys do. So I'm sure
Yeah,
it's still banging, but I don't see it like popping off like it used to. It used to be like a big thing everywhere, but I don't really see it that much.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I mean, for me, I think he should kind of and maybe just consider it a little. Just at least take a break. Just have a break of like 6 months and then just come back and just reestablish it. I get it. Like when the hype train is, fully blown, continue it because you need to stay consistent and like ride the wave. But I don't know if I do think there is a lot coming out from Virgil. Okay, yeah, Ash, you're right. Like everyone loves a little Off-White or Virgil collaboration, but I don't know. I think if we did see a break and then him come back in like 6 months' time, we might appreciate it more, if that makes sense.
People are
Uh,
scared to lose the wave though sometimes. Like
yeah, that's
they're
the
scared
only
if it's
thing.
gonna be forgotten about and be like, no one cares. It's like how Yeezy's still like people still buy them, but it's not the same, is it? People are like, who cares? Another Yeezy.
I
You don't want to
totally
get to
get.
that level.
Yeah, I know you got to be consistent with these things, and like you want to keep momentum. I think with Kanye, he just out and out said like he wants them in every single house, which is kind of like Bill Gates, like a PC should be in everyone's home by this year. Da 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 da. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Virgil could be going that way, where like everyone does have a pair of Off-Whites.
Are they comparable? Would you say? Is Virgil hasn't, I assume, got the same sort of deal as Kanye, has he? Where he can just make whatever he wants.
No, I feel like Virgil is great with collaborations.
Yeah.
I think with his own brand, his super like price point is super. I don't know, it's expensive.
Yeah, that's
isn't
why I
it?
would never consider. I like the look of some of his shoes, although they all look like knockoffs of something else.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
never going to pay it, so it doesn't even come into my like mind as something to cop.
for real. D, how about you? What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, pretty much what you guys saying. I don't think like he should stop because obviously people still eat up everything he does with Nike, but it is just a bit stale at the moment. I think for a lot of people, it's just a bit boring. You know,
New silhouettes and stuff. You mean you'd need,
yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, like this
or
50
just the whole
dunk,
style of the whole writing on the
yeah,
side and all that's getting a bit samey.
yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
bit samey. Like the pairs he's done already are amazing. Like the Off-White 4 was a banger. The fives have been really good. He's obviously got his ones and a lot of heat from the 10 that are just incredible. And I'm not taking away from that. I just think like 50 dunks, like
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
don't know. It's not. Yeah, it just feels a little bit like overkill. And but yeah, I get it. Like there's people are scared of losing their relevancy,
Yeah, big
and
time.
you've seen it with a lot of people. Sometimes even in music, like someone just doesn't drop an album for a year, and people forget they exist, right?
Yep.
And then like
Why do you
next
think
thing,
Drake puts out a single with someone every like 3 months? He just wants to
yeah,
stay in it.
just
always on top of his like
Yeah.
on top. He wants to stay in people's minds, right? And I
Yep.
think
No matter
that's the
what.
same thing applies here. But yeah, I do think there has been a dip in the quality of collaboration, and I think the Off-White brand, where they seem to be doing well is in their accessories, particularly with women's accessories, with the
Okay.
handbags, the jewelry. A lot of women seem to go for those, see them quite often. Their t-shirts and stuff like that, I think, basically got supremed, didn't they, by the hype beast,
Yeah, it
and
did. It
just
did.
they took on a bit of a different image where
The
it's a bit,
yellow belt wrapped around your leg. That,
yeah,
that
it's
whole
just
thing's
like
gone.
that whole thing is played out, and it's like
Yeah, it's corny.
it's
yeah,
corny, exactly, it's corny now. So
And we saw people that were literally taking a picture and selling it on the next day.
yeah, yeah, and I
Just
don't,
to,
yeah, they just,
yeah.
wow. What?
yeah, man,
Yeah.
because that stuff was like going for P, and then like
You're buying a £330 t-shirt, you take one picture, no one's gonna care when you post it again. So they were like selling it the next day for like 280 and just taking the £50 hit on the new tee.
Sick, man. Great question there, Mari. Appreciate that, bro. Our next question is from @live.dreams. He asks, why aren't Reebok bringing us the pump and the Omni pump more? Maybe I'll kick this one off, lads. Do you know what? I think Reebok have put out a couple Omnis, haven't they? I think I'm going to say the black pair and the
They
white
did
pair.
recently, a couple months ago, yeah.
Yeah. Ash, you've got the black pair, which
Yeah,
is
from a
super
while
fun.
ago, yeah.
Do you know what? I think they are being very clever with it. Actually, like if I'm looking at it in that sense, like they're not oversaturating the market with them. It is a super iconic silhouette that I'm personally going to say. I don't know if that's the general consensus, but I actually think it's a super iconic silhouette. It does have a place in the market for I think for a purist collector. That's the only thing that I can see from like an outsider's point of view. I think with a new collector, or with somebody who's just started their collection like a couple of years ago, I think they might not be drawn to it because they can't resonate with it in such a way. If you think about sort of 80s and 90s, that whole era of sort of Reebok pump, it was huge. Like,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure like the whole Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like he used to have them on with the massive tongue, have the jeans tucked into the shoes, have the pump on. Obviously, he did have the grapes, like iconically wearing them on the episodes, but I'm pretty sure there was a bit of a stint, with him wearing Reebok pumps. But I just think it's a generational thing.
Yeah. I think it's an older head thing. I don't think
It is. It
youngers
is. Yeah.
care too much.
I don't know if new collectors will think they'll look at it and be like, what's this? This is whack.
Do you know John Cena used to wear that to wrestling back in the day?
That's wicked, man.
Yeah, he used to wrestle in Reebok pumps.
But yeah, I mean, I think Reebok are being clever in a sense that they know it is an iconic sneaker for sort of an old school collector. So I think if they oversaturate the market, like, I don't know, collectors like that they'll feel like, oh, they're bringing out too many pairs, too many colorways, too many versions. So I think in that sense they are being smart with it, just releasing like a black and white pair as it stands. Obviously it's got the association to D Brown. If you don't know who D Brown is,
Do your Googles.
yeah, late 80s, early 90s dunk competition, super iconic dunk that he made. But yeah, for me, I just think it resonates more with the older collector. So yeah, Ash, what do you think, man?
Yeah, same thing pretty much. I just don't think it is a shoe that would go crazy with the masses. Like, I know the pair that came out a couple months ago, that sold out, which was good. Saw a couple people, no US Gravy still got a pair and he was proper gassed to get it, which was cool. I didn't get a one because I've already got my one and it's still clean enough to wear and all that sort of stuff. But I think, like, say for example, if Offspring was selling it and they did like a hype campaign for like 2 months, would it sell out on there? I still think it would be a tricky one, to be honest. It's just a shoe that I don't think is going to appeal to the sort of more modern day crowd. But people have get sucked into some pairs that I never thought they would before, so it's possible.
Yeah.
But Reebok, I don't know if that's what their focus is going to be. I haven't really paid super attention to what they've been doing lately, personally. Anyways, I know like the Club C stuff and they've done the Jound and all that sort of stuff is cool, but Reebok pumps, I can't see that being massive in 2021. Just don't see it.
For sure. D, your views, man?
Yeah, just pretty much what you guys saying. I don't think the demand is there to warrant a huge marketing campaign. I think what they've done now has been really clever. Like Mo was saying, I think the initial release sold out and they haven't brought it back. The resale is very like minimal, but it's still there, and that's a healthy sign for a shoe that's not been about for a little bit. So that's encouraging. I think Reebok will be happy with the way it's gone. The one of the later colorways is still available on some of the sites, so that's a sign there that perhaps without the nostalgia element, there may not be as big a driver. So I think they've played it correctly. I think it's kind of good for them to test the waters and see, what the reception is. I think the fact that colorways since have not been as popular probably will dictate the way they go about it. But I think it's a good move, but I wouldn't expect too much more in this direction from them with this particular shoe and silhouette. I think they will just touch on the key things they need to and release at the key times they need to and satisfy the audience that wants this shoe.
Last thing you want to do is bring out loads of colorways and it just sit everywhere.
Yeah, I
And
think
just waste money.
they did was literally bring it back, please a lot of people. Everyone that really wanted it, most of the people got their hands on it. The ones that didn't probably had to pay just a little bit more, not too much
Yeah,
more.
nothing crazy.
And when there are moments perhaps where they might find an opportunity to bring out another pair, another colorway, I think they will. But I think this is the best way to go about it. I think you don't want to flood the market with them. It's just going to cost them a lot of money, and it will just put them off doing more with the silhouette in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, man. Perfectly answered, lads. I appreciate that. And wicked question from Jordan, man. The next question is from James Haley, at James Haley. He says, no Virgil, no Travis, no Kanye. Where would the sneaker game be? And obviously it's all hypothetical. D, let's go to you first, man.
So I think this is a good question, but I think for like what I would say usually would be like someone else would have done it, yeah. But I think you can't put Travis and Virgil with Kanye.
Yeah. Because
Kanye
the
is
Kanye bit is the only bit that really matters.
Kanye changed sneakers,
Yeah.
changed sneakers forever, changed the culture. So without the other two, I genuinely think like Virgil, the sneaker game would be massively different, but someone else would have come with a collaboration of some kind
Yeah.
eventually that, popped off. I think Kanye is in his own space where like he changed sneakers. He changed what it means to be an influential figure with sneakers and even things like paparazzi and stuff like what he was wearing, right, had such
Yeah.
a big effect. Then you bring in his collaboration with Nike and the way that the craziness that caused. So I can't imagine the sneaker game without Kanye's influence. I think that's really difficult to answer that. Because he's pretty much shaped the culture as the modern day culture of sneakers as we know it.
Yeah.
Um, but the other two, I genuinely think someone else would have perhaps come in and done collaborations that maybe wouldn't have been quite as good, but they would have been close. Or
Yeah, I think Travis was. I doubt he was. I don't know if you could say he was handpicked, but I think anyone could have been possibly
yeah,
put into that
yeah,
role. I
exactly.
know
Yeah,
Dean doesn't agree with me, but I think there was a time when ASAP Rocky could have been that person if he went the right way. Like if they just forced it on him and said he's the big dunk fan from back in the day or whatever, I think they could have pulled that
I
off and
just
made him the guy.
I just think Rocky, like, while stylistically, yes, I just don't think his music was ever as big as Travis's is.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not as big,
Yes,
but
yeah,
this whole hype of everything has made his music even bigger.
it
He's
has, but
become a
he was
much bigger artist
still
from it.
like
Yeah,
he was so like it's different, in it. It's different,
yeah,
but it's tricky to
Different era.
answer. But I hear you. I hear you.
I don't know. I always think to myself, actually, if there was no Kanye, there's no Virgil or Travis, right? Because
Yeah, yeah. I
Kanye
mean,
brought Travis
Virgil.
in.
Yeah, yeah,
Virgil for sure. No, yeah,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And then obviously, who else? Jerry. Kanye brought Jerry. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Don
there's
C.
Yeah,
exactly. There's so many people that
It-
Kanye's put on.
yeah,
Like,
and
But not
he's
against them
shaped.
because they all helped him. If they wasn't for him as what for them
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
he wouldn't also
Absolutely.
be where he is. So we're
They
not no shots at any of
collaborated.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, no, they collaborated. All their hard work with working with each other created the greatness that they
because
did.
Jerry
No,
did a lot of early Yeezy stuff, didn't he?
yeah,
Like helped
yeah,
out.
and
Yeah,
Virgil
all of
helped him out a lot. Don C did a lot of great
yeah,
work. Like, no
yeah.
doubt about it. But like, what you're saying there is true, man. Like, take it away from like even just like the silhouettes and stuff and the shaping of the culture. He's played a direct role in a lot of the big players that are in the game right now.
just
So
think, would Jordan ones, Jordan threes be as big right
nah,
now if it wasn't for Kanye? It wouldn't be
no way.
because I know he definitely influenced me to be looking at some pairs like I need to grab that right now
100%.
for
His
sure.
he was the biggest thing going, and like
Yep,
he was like all over the place, and that was when social media was beginning to really take off, and he was one
Yep.
of the pioneers in that kind of space where that constant coverage, right? Like just
yep.
like that TMZ culture that he was
There used to
just
be
so
like
tapped in.
a website that was like Kanye West fits. That was
Yeah,
every time
yeah,
it got seen, they'd post it on
yeah,
there.
Do you know what? I always think of Kanye, like for that time period, you know what I mean? When he was with Amber Rose and
I
he was
always
wearing,
think of that.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
rocking the
yeah.
black cement freeze. I'm looking at it right now.
yeah, black
It's
cement
fire.
shoes.
Good
Do you remember
times.
like there was so much like it was all back then it was all about like high five MySpace, that
Yeah,
kind of social media. But there was like I can't remember what the website was called, man. I can't remember. I'll probably have to come back to it. But literally, it was like a forum. It was all about forums back in the day, right?
yep,
And
Yeah,
you'd go into these forums and you'd see like uploaded pictures of him with like the glow in the dark glasses, like with the lines across the eyes, and you'd just be like, this guy's wacky, but he's actually got like big drip. Do you know what I
yep,
mean?
yeah. He was the
And
coolest shit. Like he was just doing shit like I said, like people like don't like a lot of the people who are younger and would have been, perhaps very young during this period. that was like when social media was like beginning and like really taking off in that way, where it was becoming more mainstream news, and Twitter was exploding, and yeah, Kanye kind of coincided with that. So I think that's why he's had such a big influence on
The
so many.
timing,
Yeah,
the timing for him was so perfect, wasn't it?
yeah, man, he was
Do you-
rocking them Jordans like he just wore what he wanted to wear, and yeah,
Fucking
fire.
sick, man.
just
So
fire.
sick.
Yeah.
Great question there, James. Appreciate that, man. Our last question, lads, comes from at Ricardo Silva _ 1983. And he says, Off-White Dunks gives a good chance to everyone that wants them and reduces resale prices. What is our thoughts on that, Ash?
You're talking about the 50, I assume. Yeah. I don't know. Have they said exactly how that release is happening? Because I don't know about a good chance. I guess more shoes is a good chance, but I don't know how many pairs of each is going to happen. I was assuming that this drop was going to be just as hard as anything else. Personally, is there something I'm missing?
I imagine like he's also saying with regards to dunks, like GR dunks as well, right?
Or maybe he means because it's going to be 50. I don't know.
No,
I don't think I think the resale price is going to be super high on certain ones. Like,
no, I think
if there's only going to be the one black pair, it's going to be crazy.
D, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think he means what Ash is saying, that like because there's 50, is it going to be easier? Is a resale going to be lower because there's so many of them?
Nah, it's going.
I don't think it will be, because I just think the numbers are going to be tiny, aren't they?
Dean, I know you don't want to hear it, but I have a sneaky feeling that all of them are going to be like early access. People are going to get access to certain colors, and I think that's how it's going to work.
Yeah, I think that is how it's going to work. Yeah,
I think that's what I vaguely heard. Yeah,
for sure.
Because they're never going to have 50 listed on the bloody website, are they? That'd be crazy.
Nah, they're pushing for that sort of stuff, isn't it? So I'd
and even if it's not going to be Nike by you choosing your own things, that's too much hassle. So
God knows, man.
I don't know if it's just going to be sneakers app. I don't know. It could be.
I think it will be.
Nah, that's too many pairs to have anywhere else.
Yeah, it could be.
What store can hold 50 shoes in different size runs of it?
Do you know the only way I'm thinking about it is because like they done that post of the adverts in like Brick Lane, one in like Paris, one in New York.
Yeah.
So now it makes me think, it could be a potential stash where you have to like go location. But at the same time, you're right, like where it could be EA. So I don't know.
I think that would probably be better, even because they've been talking a lot about early access, even on the website. They went out of their way to say on the app like how it works, even though that's bullshit. My girlfriend never goes on the app except for on a Saturday once to check,
and she wins.
And then she gets it. She gets early access all the time, so it doesn't mean anything.
It's lies. That's why, like,
she's never watched a story in her life on.
Nah, that's why I don't. That's why I delete. That's why I deleted it. That's why I deleted it, because for me it's just a waste of time, because it's not true. And like when you get to the point where you realize that, you make a decision, right? Like, how beneficial is in it? Like I know that Mary has a little bit of luck sometimes, so it's
look at Adam. Adam's fucking always.
Always winning.
He's not one on sneakers.
Or his mum, or his dad, or someone's always winning, man.
So, and his mum's not watching stories. She just goes on when he asks her to.
Like she probably just logging in, and like, exactly. So like, it's all a load of bollocks, man. I think it's a weird algorithm, and I think
100%.
I think it is more about what is easy for Nike than what is fair. I think it's what is easier to do, because a lot of the same people win. And is it an easier process going to accounts that have received wins regularly? I don't know. Is there some sort of
I think it's like it's banded. I think that there's a certain band, like how much you've spent with them, and they have like records of everyone's like purchases.
Dean's been on there for time though.
On my old account, I had like my old account is from like 2009, 2010, and like money's purchases like hundreds, and lots and lots of money, like
brands.
Yeah, like really a lot of money, and it don't matter. Like it just doesn't matter. It's there's definitely a randomness to it, but there's also, I think, a convenience with it. I think it's because you just see a lot of the same people win a lot, and whether
Yeah.
it's early access or just a raffle win, it's a lot of the time. Like you saw with like some Sakai, like we saw people win 2 pairs.
Yeah, it's
On the
ridiculous.
dunks, you saw people win 2 pairs. It's like no matter how you explain that, especially when the sneaker world is not that big. When we all talk to each other, people are on the apps a lot. I know people who are on the apps all the time and they don't win. And then we know people like Ash has mentioned, Kay, like she's on the app and barely ever, and she gets early access all the time,
Yep.
right? Like Mary is on the app. Well, before back in the day, she'd be on the app less than me, and she'd get early access to stuff. I would never get it. Like
There's
it's
no method to the madness.
there isn't. It's
But
I think
Adidas app is the same because
yeah.
whenever the slides came out, I saw someone won all 3 colorways of the slides.
Yep.
What the
So how
hell?
can I win none and he wins all 3? Why would you give it to that account? All 3. That makes
Wait,
sense.
they've got that medal kind of algorithm as well, haven't they?
Oh yeah, the level and all that.
Points, yeah.
It
It's
must mean
just
something.
it's all these brands. What they're doing is
money.
just leveraging the demand into a way to sell more shit that isn't hyped.
Yeah.
And that's what Nike are doing with this sneaker stuff. Some of us will see right through it because it's as transparent as fuck. And yeah, spend more time on our app. Make improve our data, improve our web statistics, our app statistics, our dwell time.
That's literally all social media apps are about today. Is keeping you on as long as possible.
Keeping you on. They want you to be browsing bullshit, liking bullshit you don't give a fuck about.
Yep.
Buying GRs that you're not
What was that
interested in.
Netflix documentary? They said they'll ping you. There won't even be a notification, but they'll ping you just to make you go on up and you check and be like, nothing there. Next thing you know, you're scrolling for an hour and you're like, you got me.
And like that's what this is all about. This exclusive access drop is just a very easy way for them to be like, yep, spend hours on your app and you might get the chance to win more often.
And it'll make you buy something you might not even want. They'll probably offer you things you don't want, but you're like, oh, that might be, let me get it just in case.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you spent 160 that you weren't planning on spending.
It's all one massive, like, crazy algorithm. I think everything is intertwined into everything. So,
well, we know Nike's a marketing company, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah, man.
For real. Guys, thanks a lot for the questions. We always appreciate it. Don't forget to get involved in HSU question time. If your HSU question didn't get mentioned in this episode, it will be carried over to next week's episode. So big shout out to everyone that sent through questions. We appreciate it a lot. On to the next part of Half Size Up, guys, and we have Cop of the Week. In this segment, we discuss what sneakers we copped or wanted to cop this week. And this week, we'll start with Ash.
Yeah, so the part of that I would go with is wanted to cop because I didn't cop anything this week. But I did want to cop the New Balance 550, the size collaboration, the college pack. Perfect. That orange pair, I thought they were fire. But unfortunately, do you know what? I was talking to Tom because Tom won the raffle. So I said, let me go and check my raffle. And it turns out I didn't even enter. I thought I did, but I must not have completed it. And then they released it in store and I was working, so I couldn't make it down there again. So taking an L on those. Maybe the price drops, I'll pick them up because I think they look dope, but no pickups for me this week.
Fair enough. D, how about you, man?
Yeah, no pickups, man. Keeping it clean. You know what though? I realized we've done 6 months of the year, so we should have a review how many players that we've all bought and kept.
Oh goddamn.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Not today. Next week I'll do it.
Yeah, next week.
Week.
Next week. So we'll pencil that in for next week and we'll discuss only the ones we've kept though, nothing that you've either sold, returned, traded, nothing like that. Just the stuff that you've bought and kept. Because I mean it's still gonna be a massive list for you, Ash. I know that.
But I've sold like over 20 this year, I think.
Yeah.
Damn,
so it's still a lot.
Good then.
Still not as bad.
Nah, yeah, you've been clearing out the stuff.
Still not enough though, man.
Man, you got 2 men. That's why, because you know what, you got to sell more than you bring in.
No, my issue is because of how selling stuff works. Is I need the time to do it, and I don't want to run to the shop with 3 buy 3 shoes this day and 1 shoe that day. I always do it when I'm on annual leave, so I know I'm off and free to do it.
Yeah.
This is a hassle. I wish someone would just come pick it up from my door.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean.
It's proper like my name's Ash and I'm a sneakerholic.
But I don't know how proper resellers do it. Like, I just can't be asked to
You
wrap stuff up.
can't have a job.
Hassle.
A lot of the time they don't have a job, or the job they're doing is very cushy and they're just sitting about. Yeah.
You know what you've also got to have? You've got to have one of those UPS access points very close by.
Yeah.
Mine's like a little tiny bit too far where it's annoying.
Mine is like, it's like a 12-minute walk in it, and it's like
that's better than mine. Yeah,
that's all right. It's all right. Some days I'll firm it, but some days I just still can't be bothered after work, man. I'm just like,
That's the thing. I finish work and I'm like, oh man, I gotta go today.
Yeah.
And then the app is telling me it's tomorrow, but then
the PS5
email says today. I'm like, which one is it?
Yeah, then I turn my PS5 on and that's it, man. It's over. I ain't going anywhere.
Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Fair enough, lads. For me this week, is it this week? I can't remember if it was this week or last week, but I managed to secure a pair of the New Balance 2002 R protection pack.
Oh, you did.
Colorway, but yeah, I got a dub from Offspring.
I forgot about that raffle.
Yeah, I asked you guys. I was like,
I remember you said
which one?
But
they did the raffle for the white and the black one, innit? The sale and the black one, right?
And the grey, bro. I won the grey from.
They did 2, not 3, right?
They did.
There was 3 shoes in general, but I feel like they only had 2.
Sorry,
I don't know.
They didn't have the black one. They had the grey, the dark grey, and the white one.
Yeah, I remember. I saw the second raffle. I
just saw the picture saying it was over, and I was like, "When did that happen?"
Yeah, I just been.
But they didn't have my size, anyways. I need
a
half size up in those. They didn't do half sizes.
Yeah, it's whole sizes only.
Oh, they didn't have half size. I'm a 9. I need a 9.5 in those.
Yeah, so I didn't bother.
Yeah, I've gambled. I've gone with a UK 8. So I'm gonna see what it's like.
It's I tried it on before because I got the Benburys in the half size up and they fit perfectly. But I've tried on true to size before, and it's because the material is so it moves about a lot. It's like a mesh shoe.
You know what? Because obviously I've got the 2 bait pairs and like.
But that's is it canvas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's suede and canvas, but I don't know what this is going to be like because it's like extra layers of suede, so I don't know.
No, I think the toe box area will be stretchy. It shouldn't be that crazy.
Yeah, I'm yet to pick them up, so hopefully.
That's good. Pick up.
Yeah, either I'll pick them up tomorrow. I might pick them up Thursday at some point. Need to grab those at some point. But yeah, only those for me. Nothing else from anywhere else.
Dean, did you see those size 550s, the orange ones?
Fire. So fire, man.
The orange ones?
Yeah. You weren't feeling them?
I don't like them.
No.
I don't know why. I don't.
They're fire. It's got like a sail midsole.
Yeah.
Syracuse orange.
You know what it is?
Sail laces. I think it's dope.
It is dope. Like I look at it and I get it. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's great, but I just. I don't know.
Missing.
Mm.
It just wasn't hitting for me, man.
Do you know? I didn't even go in for them. Like it totally passed me. And then
I wanted the protection pack, man, the grey ones, but I was just too slow on everything. I tried Hannah, Offspring. I was never gonna get in on that, so we'll see. I think like unless I can get one for like £20 above retail, I'm just gonna leave it, man. Because
is it expensive? I haven't even checked on.
It's like people are asking for a lot, but the bids aren't that high. So it's like
New Balance shoes. The price on certain pairs, because I feel like a lot of people that are buying them are not into New Balance. Like so they trying it at the start.
They're trying it. Yeah, they just give up.
Because some pairs have dipped like crazy.
Yeah, because they're asking for silly amounts. But even my one, like the grey one, like people are asking $260. It's like, no way. I'm never gonna pay that. You know what I'm saying? So
retail is high on like New Balance. People
those though, not the 2002 R's, a cheap shoe. It's like 110 or something.
They're 130, yeah. But like other like 990s and all of that, 991.
Yeah, 992s is, but it's it's, in America it's not that expensive. Over here we get bumped. In America it's like 160, 150.
Yeah,
over here 200 retail.
Made
in but probably made in UK is probably expensive out there for them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough, lads. Hopefully next week something to cop. Maybe the week after. There are a few things that are coming out sort of towards the end of the week. But yeah, all dope cops. On the next part of Half Size Up, we have Sneaker peeve of the week. In this part of the podcast, we have a slight rant about our biggest sneaker peeves. So basically, we get to go in on something we've seen on social media or anything else. And this week's sneaker peeve of the week comes from your boy, Dean. So, Dean, over to you, man.
So to be honest with you, like mine, this was from like a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to talk about it, and it's to do with eBay sneakers, right? So we spoke about eBay sneakers a few months back, and like welcomed, the competition. Um, it's great that they're doing something to challenge to StockX and make it, the market a little bit more diverse. I've had a nightmare with them since they've come on, since eBay has introduced it.
As
The
a
sell
seller or buyer?
as a
Selling?
seller,
Yeah. Okay.
and this is someone like my eBay account has 100% feedback. Like I'm a very trusted seller. I'm like I'm eligible to be a top rated seller on eBay. It goes back, a long time and always good feedback. And what I quickly found with eBay services on pairs that are not dead stock, they are judging you against not only your pictures but like every word in your description. So like if you say worn a couple times or worn a few times and they think, oh, this looks like it's worn 5 times, they're going to fail it without consulting the buyer. You don't get any say. And what the worst bit about it is they cut off all contact between you and the buyer, like to be like StockX the minute you ship off the shoe. And
No.
yeah, and even after or the shoe's authenticated and arrives, if you want to like ask them, yo, can you leave me some feedback? You can't even do that. So like now, like it's completely cut off the contacts. You can't develop like, a rapport with people because quite often on eBay, I'd get people come back and buy, when you're a size that they are, they'll come back or they'll ask about multiple pairs. And you have to talk about to them on a different chain and email them differently. And you can't really do that as a seller unless you like find a listing. And it's just stupid, isn't it? And I just think the service, I think it's growing pains. I think um they're still finding their rhythm with what it is, but I think they need to be careful that they don't alienate a lot of people because I put a story up and several people replied to me saying they've had problems with it as well. And
Wow.
that's a red flag because when you are judging used shoes, this is why StockX stayed away from this, it's a
Yeah,
very
trust me.
ropey road to go down. And I can tell you now,
Subjective, innit?
yeah, I mean, what pissed me off the most was I sold a pair. Uh, they failed it. They took the money back, but they took They took the fee, the final total fee, when I got paid after fees, right? So, like, say my sale after fees was 271, but the total fee was 295. They took back 295, so I lost £25 on this
What?
sale, and 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 the shipping as well that I paid for. It's not like StockX where they pay for the shipping, so
Mm.
you pay for the shipping, and it was extremely frustrating. And I've always had a good relationship with eBay in general and the staff that I've spoken to there in the past. Like, they helped me out with a problem once with a scammer, and I've always had a good relationship. But this is a different service, and it falls under different people, and it's made me not want to sell on their platform anymore. Because what I'd always do is just basically slap on their fee price onto the total price of my shoe, right? So that's what I was doing. But now, like, it just makes it very difficult. The whole thing is a difficult process. I hope they can smoothen it out a little bit. I know they're working with SneakerCon on this
Yeah.
authenticating. So I think they need to
I still don't
find.
get what that means. What do they mean by that? Is it just
I
people
think
that work for the company? Or?
I think SneakerCon would hire the authenticators, and they've just
Okay.
replaced
Yeah,
them
yeah.
for
Yeah.
eBay. But the problem is that especially when it's a new service, some of these guys are just being a little bit too militant and a little bit too
Mm.
diligent. And I think that you have
Do
to
you think
find
you're
the
gonna
right.
have to like relax on your verbiage online and just say
Well,
used
now,
and
yeah,
not say anything else?
literally that's what
Because I
I've been.
bought a pair that was used and it
That's
got through.
that's what I've been doing. That's what
They didn't say any no details about it. It said used.
because that's what I've been doing now. Like I just put the word used. I put no detail around the shoe outside of the images, and I just very clearly say, please refer to the picture for condition, and that's it. Because, but that's a shame. That's a shame because you can talk to people.
It means a lot, like what worn once compared to
it
used,
does.
you know?
It does, and when it's a reputable seller, you can trust him, right?
Yeah.
And they told me a pair that I'd worn once wasn't worn once, and it was worn once. And the guy got it at an amazing price, and then I resold it, and someone else bought it for the same
So he's
price.
got screwed. The
He
only person
got
he screwed
screwed
over is
over,
you,
and he
the money,
exactly,
and the
and he didn't
buyer.
even get a say in it. I think that's really shit. So what pissed me off on social media was not long after that I saw like everyone and their mum advertising eBay sneakers, and it's like fair enough. Like I get it, you get the bag, secure the bag, but man, there's some people
That was all as buyers, though, isn't it?
some people have to act like eBay. They didn't know what eBay was, or like
was
that.
the funniest
eBay.
thing.
That was the funniest shit. Like
Have you heard of eBay? Did you know they've
oh
got
my
shoes on there?
god!
Suddenly everyone had an American accent.
Like what? Oh man, it was funny. It's just seen, and then the comments.
It was
like,
back to back though. That's what killed me.
The comments were like, "Oh damn, might have to check that out."
Knew they could do that.
Eyes emoji. Ooh. Oh boy, that was funny. But don't get me wrong. Like I get it. Like you'd be stupid to like not. If eBay comes say, "Look, yeah, we want to do this," you're like, "Yeah, of course I'm going to work with you." But it was just funny the way some of the ads were portrayed, and some of the.
It was like it was a mandate to do that because everyone was being cheesy.
Everyone is corny as hell. Yeah, literally
Yeah.
turned into literal corns.
Yeah, it must be a briefing. Must have been.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Meanwhile, I'm out here. I'm atting them like, "What's wrong with you guys with the selling?"
So, Dean, when you ship it,
yeah,
what address does it have? Doesn't have the.
It's all the
address,
same address. Nah,
it
just you put the name. It's like on behalf.
I kind of like that though. The fact they don't have your address. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is that bad or good? It's good, right?
No, I don't mind that at all. But what they need to do is just make the communication process better. If they find issues with a pair, they should ask the buyer, "Look, this is what we think. Would you like to proceed with the sale? If not, fair enough." But the fact they're not even contacted, you don't get a chance to explain. Most of the time, if I sold something to a buyer and he messaged me and he was unhappy about something, I'd give him, maybe I could say, all right, we either return it or would you like £10 off or whatever. A lot of the time, people like you can come to a compromise with people, and I think you can't treat the service like StockX when you're doing it for used pairs, because there's difference. It's a totally different market. It's totally different. The people are. It's very subjective. Dead stock is dead stock. It's either worn or it's not. Used, and the varying levels of how used it is very dangerous. I think it's a really good thing to have this in place to give people peace of mind that the shit they're buying is real, but you can't be overly militant with it at the same time, because you're just going to put people off. And I've been put off. Like, it's really put me off selling shit with them, because I lost £25-30 on a sell for absolutely no reason, and I can't get that money back.
In my opinion, I think that their job should only be: is it real, and does it look like the picture? Anything else doesn't matter.
I think there will eventually.
Doesn't mean technically worn once doesn't mean anything. You could have worn it once and went to fucking Wembley and been around a bunch of drunk people for 10 hours, and that's different to me wearing it to the shop and back, still worn once.
So true. Like you said, they need to lower the parameters where they're involved. Like authentic, yes. Does it vary wildly from the pictures? Is it really not the same shoe represented in the photos? Because I can tell you, hand on heart, the pair I got failed on absolutely was. I took 12 pictures, insole, outsole, everything, creases, close-ups on the toe box. Get the fuck out of here when you're like going to talk to me about like fucking it looks like it's been worn more than once. Like, fuck you, man. What are you talking about?
No, it's nonsense.
You know, it sounds like they're having a lot of like teething issues, man.
It is.
They need to explore the scenarios in more depth.
I think they'll get there. They'll get there eventually. I would hope they will get there, but they need to be open-minded and understand the sneaker market a little bit better. It's not so black and white the way they think it is. So
For real.
yeah.
And that was a great
Nice
sneaker
rant.
people because that's a massive insight into like a service that I don't think everyone has used yet. So
yeah, I think people have probably just had it as a buyer, witnessed it. Like I've witnessed it, and the process is pretty cool how it works. Although it comes and it has their tag, but on iPhones it doesn't work. Like you put your phone next to it, it doesn't work. I think you have to download a fucking app, NFC app for it to work. Because I couldn't get any of it to work.
oh shit, okay.
Yeah, you're supposed to put your phone next to it, and it authenticates it from the tag and all that, but it didn't work on mine.
Yeah. Moving on to the next. This is a part of the podcast that we would like to call "Take My Dough or Leave It, Bro." This is a quick fire round. One of us names a bunch of sneakers, and the HSU team will have to say whether it's take my dough or leave it, bro. Simple game. This week, it's Ash's turn to set the tone. So, Ash, let's go.
All right, guys, I got 5 shoes for you here. Mostly dope, in my opinion. A bit of variety as well. So let's start with number 1, which is the Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG Electric Orange, or some people call it the SBB 4.0. It's a mostly white shoe, black toe color blocking, some orange hits on it. Dean, this a cop or not, man?
For me, this is a straight throw it in the bin. This is trash. And I'm gonna tell you why. Do you remember that fucking what was that pair? That neutral grey crimson tint shit thing. What was that?
The
Ash?
grey one, that was Hyper Crimson.
This reminds me of that piece of
I think
shit.
that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, this reminds me
of the orange on it, yeah?
Yeah.
This reminds me of that crap. Yeah. And this, anyone saying this is SBB, yeah, come on, man. Have some
Being
respect.
offensive.
Have some respect for the silhouette and the brand. Like this is not. This looks like a mid that got stretched out and became a high. Yeah.
Don't you think the color blocking is made to be like customized?
It just.
But
You know what the worst bit is? What the tag is awful. The tongue tab. Yeah. It just looks like Action Man.
What the fuck? Okay.
What about you, Mo?
I mean, Ash, the first thing you said is like, this shoe looks like it needs to be customized or something like that. And like, just at first glance, I just like, there's something in me that just wants to paint that heel counter.
Yeah.
I just want to paint it black and then
tougher
reverse
than the Air logo, though, isn't it? That's what's fucked it.
I want to reverse what the heel collar is like, the ankle collar.
Yeah.
I want to reverse that. So black and then white.
Straight doo-doo butter, this one. This is just...
I mean, it is kind of bad.
The process behind this color blocking, I just don't get it.
It's a mid color blocking.
It is. It really is.
The way the outsole is orange as well. Just everything about it. I just hate it. I hate it.
Do you know what? I was saying this to the lads earlier, but I mean, once you've got them on top down, it's just a black toe, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's all you see.
You put jeans over it. You put some, I don't know, some joggers over the ankle, and it's just a black toe. It's basically like you're looking at a mocha with black laces, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, how many of these are they gonna make, man? How many of these are they?
These are gonna be like
popular.
It's gonna be popular. There's gonna be loads of them, and they'll all be £25 above retail, something like that.
The leather's decent on these, but someone said that the white bit at the back, it doesn't rub off, but it looks like paint that would rub off. If that makes sense. It has that look to. Do you remember those Lance Mountain pairs?
Yes.
It says the paint on it just looks like. I don't know if it's a bad paint job, but it just looks like it would come off.
Do you know what? Like Jordan 1s are on some devilish streak of terribleness right now. Like they are just. Every time,
Dean, because I don't want to fucking keep buying them. So
yeah, do you know what? I'm with you. And do you know what? Every time they come with a colorway that looks good, they fuck it with the tongue. And if the tongue is normal, they fuck it with a mid-looking colorway that just looks.
Do you remember the Hyper Royals, which is a nice colorway, but then they put like a sky blue sole and the sky blue tag, which is nothing like the rest of the shoe, just like for no reason.
it's just yeah.
Anywho,
but
anything else to say, Mo? Go on.
well, but if for retail, would you get this?
Say again?
If for retail, would you cop it?
No,
Nah.
unless someone's gonna buy it off me for 300. No.
If it's like people are selling it and it's like going for free bills or something, yeah, then yeah, sure. Like
I would never wear the shoe.
nah.
There's no way in hell I'd ever choose this over anything I have.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like you got so many high ones, like
Yeah.
just that are just bangers, and why would you ever
No
like?
reason.
Yeah.
It's gonna piss me off when people post, SBB 4.0.
Oh man, do you
Exactly.
know what? There's a very
Bruh.
clear line. It's like the SBBs are like the first two are fire, and then like the ones
That
after.
third one's not an SBB, is it? I shouldn't even really call it that.
Yeah, to be honest with you,
Disgraceful.
yeah, I wouldn't call it that either.
Just because it's got orange in it, fuck that. It's not SBB,
Yeah,
is
no,
it?
I'm with you.
I would have just called the SBB 3.0 just Starfish High or something like that.
Yeah, just a different.
On the 3.0, is the colorway actually Starfish? I can't remember because I know this one isn't. This is electric orange.
It is
Starfish, right?
It's the same color blocking. That's why.
Yeah, it has a more variety.
Not
than
color
this one,
blocking.
then.
Sorry, color coding.
Color coded. Yeah. It has more variety than it's better. Then this isn't even the Starfish colorway. So
yeah,
fuck this shoe. Anywho, next one. Number 2 is the Air Jordan 3 Racer Blue, which is basically a fire red, but instead of the red sections, it's got blue. And for some odd reason, they've gone for a weird elephant print, which is 3M, which looks a bit funky when it's not 3M. What are you guys saying? What are you saying, Mo?
Yeah, you just said that's 3M, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it's 3M.
What the fuck? First glance, for me, in a sense, this is what the fragment should have looked like, I suppose. The fragment 3.
Yeah. If you're
It
going
should
with
have
his standard coloring, yeah.
exactly, yeah. And just off the bat, for me, like, although I love threes, it's not for me. It's not for me. Don't know. The blue just is not for me. I've got nothing to wear that with, and it just doesn't resonate with me. It's just it's so similar to pairs that I've already got. So, do you know what I mean? Like the fragment threes, I suppose, without the blue, and then the denim threes, but it's blue. Yeah, it's just I don't think I need it. Can fully appreciate it though for everyone that's a AJ3 fan. That's a straight up cop. But yeah, for me personally, it's leave it, bro.
What about you, Dean?
Yeah. Do you know what? I think there are a lot of better threes I've seen out there. I think it's fine though. I think it's a nice pair. I'm not a big fan of like big blocks of blue like that. Generally, like I like the color blue, different shades of it, but when I see kind of big chunks of that heavy blue, it's very similar for me with the purple. That's why I'm not a big fan of those Union 4s that you guys liked. That kind of deep purple blocking where it's like chunky. It just puts me off, and it's quite a similar color to this kind of deep royal shade of blue. So for me personally, no, but I do think it's a nice clean pair, and I think for people getting into threes or looking to try out threes, I think it's a good entry pair, or it's a good pair to kind of dip your toe into, especially if you're a fan of blue and you want to kind of try the silhouette out after the AMM3.
Yeah, for me, it was a pair that I was considering when I first saw the pictures because I missed out on it. I didn't miss out. I passed on a lot of threes last year, like UNC threes and stuff. So I was considering it, but that 3M thing just doesn't work for me. Like on the fire reds, the elephant print is like sort of black on black, and you can just about see it. Whereas this one, for some reason, they've gone for this weird look, and it just doesn't work. It just looks a bit bitty. It looks like the elephant print is fucked up, but it's just because I've gone for this 3M thing, trying to be fancy. But most of the time, your shoe's not going to be hitting with the 3M, and the standard looks a bit off. So it's probably going to be a leave it, bro, for me. Right, now pair number 3, the Nike Kyrie Low 4 Sunrise, celebrating the annual New York versus New York Hoops energy. Dean, what are you saying on these?
Yeah, for me, this colorway is just a bit too wild. I like the story. I like the the kind of energy behind the shoe. I think the silhouette is cool. I'm a big fan of the Kyrie series in general. I think he likes to go out there a little bit, and I'm always quite appreciative of some of the stuff that they put together, like on some of these releases, despite not being Kyrie's biggest fan as a individual. So for me, it's elite. Yeah, well, he's a good guy. Like he cares about the right things, and he's very. I'm very cognizant of the fact that he won't chat shit with media when he's got important things on his mind, or he takes care of his mental health, and I think that's something to be applauded.
No, it's true. Yeah.
I just think sometimes some of the other stuff he does is just a little bit selfish, and he can be quite disrespectful to other individuals sometimes without really thinking about what he's saying. So, that makes him less appealing. Also, the earth is flat stuff will never be forgotten. So, no matter what he tries to say now about his, reasoning at the time. So, yeah, for me, it's a leave it, but I think it's a cool pair. And, I like that Kyrie's still bringing out these wild and different colorways.
What about you, Mo?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the pictures now. I think it looks pretty cool. It's aesthetically like quite pleasing, sort of with that whole green color palette and the sort of pink contrast. That looks pretty cool. Sort of the background behind it with the rival playgrounds, that is wicked. I just don't. This sneaker doesn't resonate with me like the fours don't really resonate with me like that. I think it's one of those sneakers that I have other preferences over before this, which is why I probably wouldn't go for this shoe. Yeah, for me, so straight up, it'd be a leave it, bro, for me.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, for me, very cool concept, but way too out there for me. So easy leave it, bro, on that front. Number 4, we have the A6 Gel Light 3, one of my favorite models, and this is the patchwork colorway. Kind of like it's a bit weird. It's like a half and half shoe. One side is sort of plain, sort of off-whitey grey, and the other side's got loads of patchwork going on. Mo, what are you saying on these?
I'm looking at the pics. So, am I safe to say like the left shoe is like blue and the right shoe?
No. They're both half and half. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not a different shoe each side. Okay, that's better.
So the outside is one color and the inside is one color on both pairs.
That's pretty crazy. And I always sort of applaud the Gel Light 3 because it was super innovative with the whole split tongue. Nobody's ever done that before. And obviously, Asics is like the foundations of, Phil Knight and the whole Nike situation. Gel Light 3 is one of my favorite silhouettes as well. Admittedly, I only have a few pairs, maybe 4 or 5 pairs. But I think, again, there would be other Gel Light 3s that I would take over this, like any of the Kith. The Kith that whole color palette just resonates
that
with
was
me.
fire.
There's a lot going on here. Like the stitching is pretty cool. The perforations throughout the toe box, ankle collar. I think that's pretty cool. But I just think it's quite wild. It gives me the Shashiko type vibe, if that makes sense. So yeah, personally for me, it'll be a leave it, bro.
Now let's all have a laugh. Dean, what do you think?
So, okay. So, genuinely, like, you guys will bring up A6 and bring on like some really cool pairs, and like I've learned a lot about the silhouette. But these are just, I mean, look, I really like the sustainability messaging. I think it's really important. I just don't get these ones, man. I just don't get these ones. I think they're just a little bit too crazy for me. I've seen a lot of cooler silhouettes. Not silhouettes, sorry, cooler colorways that you guys have shown me over the time. And for me personally, I just don't. Yeah, they're not doing it for me. They're just too crazy. I don't like the really. I don't really like the colors used on the patchwork. If I'm
Yeah.
honest, it's just not
Oh,
quite hitting.
I don't think just doing that straight half and half thing ever works. Do you remember those? What's the
Oh, homage
Jordan
to
ones? Yeah.
the Jester shoes.
Fucking hell,
They
that's
genuinely,
awful.
they genuinely remind me of a court jester. I don't know why. Do you know the jester hats?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They fully
yeah,
remind me of those. Always have, and yeah, these are just it's that similar sort of vibe. I think
Yeah.
I get like some people probably find like how wild and
Mm.
out there, so that probably appeals to them. Yeah, but for me, it's just yeah, no.
Yeah, same for me. When I first saw it, I thought it was two different shoes. I was thinking, oh, it's a nice little pack or something. Then I saw the half and half, and I was like, yeah, definitely not. Even the side that's plain, there's some parts of it I don't particularly just love. Like I wouldn't even buy it if it was all like that either. So it's
yeah,
a leave it for me. Last pair, number 5 is the Orally times New Balance 550. Sort of all over sail off white colorway, kind of plain, but still bangs. Dean, what you saying?
Yeah, these are just. I mean, it's hard to dislike these, isn't it? Really,
Yeah, this is just super on trend.
they're super on trend. They look like they'll be really nice, really clean on foot. They'll go with everything. Everyone's gonna want them. They're probably gonna be hard to get. Um, yeah, just super clean, man. Hard to dislike this pair. Like looking at it, it looks
Are
really
those
good.
perforations are new, or is that always on 550s? Is that
that's
That's
added?
that's new.
That's new, right?
that's yeah. They're not all over like that.
Yeah,
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 that's still
like
I
on the
think
sides and stuff. Yeah, it's new.
still cool. Adds to the kind of retro vintage sort of look.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool pair. I'll definitely. What's the release saying? Is it gonna be? Is it releasing here?
What I saw was that it was coming out in July 16th in Japan, but I think it's exclusive Japan, so it might have to be a StockX thing.
Oh wait,
that,
global release via end.
Oh, really?
July
yes.
Oh, yeah, I see
26th.
that. Yeah, okay. Look out for that.
Yep. So
Although
that's
we'll catch it L on those
Might have
from
to be an
end.
in-store thing. Up the
yeah.
odds.
Where's Sean?
Log me in, brother.
Oh, yeah, take my dough. Fuck it.
Yeah, take my dough as well. Mo, what are you saying?
This is a straight up.
Perfect.
This is
Don't guess
fire.
it too much. We need to keep the hype down.
yeah,
For real,
please.
for real. Actually, these are whack, man. These are
Yeah.
whack, man.
I wouldn't buy them, but someone might. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I was listening to Mike and Kick. Shout out Mikey. I think months ago about these when they kind of leaked and like they've kind of I don't know if it was delayed or what, but finally releasing, which is great to see. If it's coming out on end, then flipping out. Good luck to everybody. Um, that's gonna be difficult to secure, but
Hopefully,
oof,
other stores as well.
yeah.
oh, I love it. It's just everything about it, man.
Yeah,
Is
they nailed it.
oof. I don't know. I don't know if that's it in its rawest form, and
Yeah,
they just haven't done nothing to it because it just works. But obviously, yeah, the perforations that's new to it. The whole double stitching around the N, double stitching around the toe cap. Beauty. Just as you said, Ash, totally on trend. For me, straight up, take my dough, man.
yep. Had to end on a banger. So that's my 5, guys.
Big 5.
That is a huge vibe, man. Right, so that takes us to the end of the podcast, guys. We're about ready to close out episode 22 of Half Size Up. As always, it's been dope chopping it up with you boys. In the meantime, do we have any shout outs or honorable mentions? Dean.
Yeah, just shout out everyone for listening, sending in questions. Also shout out to the England national team. That's the team. Just the boys in there. They did a great tournament. It's a young team. And we as a nation, without being too serious here, need to look after some of the younger members of that team and really, do our collective best to kind of fight back against some of the evil that we see across social media. These are young kids, so just big shout out to them, and sad that they couldn't win it for themselves more than anything else. But yeah, shout out to them, man, and yeah, hopefully we see some good shit from them in the future.
Ash, how about you, man?
Yeah, very nicely put by Dean. I back that what he's saying. Shout out to the wifey as usual. Shout out to you two guys, and shout out to Barry. Not just fits, just kicks. He hooked me up with something that I'll
Oh,
be talking about in a
oh,
minute.
Let's go.
But yeah,
Okay.
shout
oh
out to my
shit,
dude,
oh shit,
an American
oh
Connect.
damn, man came through with the goods.
Love that connect, man. Yeah, just from me, lads, just a big shout out to you boys, man. I know I say it in, week out, but I do massively appreciate you guys putting in the time for the podcast. We've all got busy lives. So yeah, just that hour and a half that you put aside for the podcast is always appreciated. Shout out to the local and global audience that's been tuning in, week out. A big shout out to you guys. Also, Half Size Up was brought to you today by the Pink Miracle Shoe Cleaner, the original shoe cleaner since 1985. Use our code HalfSizeUp15 for 15% off your purchase online. Don't forget, we are a weekly podcast, and you can follow us on Instagram at HalfSizeUpPod. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, many more, plus YouTube. We want to say a big thanks from the entire HSU team. I've been Merkle Moman with my co-host Dean Still.
Yeah, have a blessed week, everyone.
And Ash Bash.
Catch you later, people.
See you next week. We are out here. Big love, boys. Just one other thing, yeah. We about Drake and that mum.
Oh my days, man.
That was crazy.
This guy.
Remember when I showed you I think I sent it to you before when there's the clip of him at the basketball game.
Yeah, but why has this guy got to dip his dick into everything? Like, come on, brother.